Let's do it! Rob? I'm digging that Pokemon hat. 8-2-1 are both of these players. Take a look at the battlefield here as Kevin Jones is up a game. For Rob, boy, what do we got here? He's got some promo goblins I don't even know that much about. Looks like maybe a Siege Gang among them.
Is that a pile driver?
Might be. I know he's got a Vial on 4. Thorn of Amethyst. Okay, well, someone's about to take a lot of damage. There's a Siege Gang among them.
Kiki-Jiki.
A War Chief. He's got Kiki-Jiki in his list. He's got a wild list.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. Rashad and Port is going to tap something on the upkeep here. Thorn of Amethyst on the battlefield, too, here.
Yeah, Rashad and Port, Thorn of Amethyst is a nice blend here.
Combo! Kevin will draw. Looks like that other goblin might be a Goblin War Chief. A very enthusiastic fan of goblins is Rob Nelson with his promos. I can respect it. Kevin looking at Fatal Push in hand. Scalding Tarn, he'll sacrifice. He'll get himself a Volcanic Island. See what Jones is going to cast here. Might be that Fatal Push.
Are we going to get Kiki-Jiki Ringleader here?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
My goodness.
Yeah. Do not threaten me with a good time.
Vial up to 5.
Or copy the, I'd rather copy the Siege Gang Commander.
Oh, sure, whatever. I mean, that's fine, too.
I believe. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Wasteland. That's a good draw, too.
Teach him a good lesson now, Rob.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, Kevin's going to concede. Yeah, teach him a good lesson here, Rob. There you go, buddy. The Goblins, man. We're all tied up getting ready for Game 3. Hopefully it's one that we do finish here between Nelson and Jones. Both these players 8-2-1. Taking a look for the clock here. It looks like we're underneath 15 minutes between the two of them. So they're going to have to pick up their pace of play just a little bit. But Goblins and Grixis control, this could become a little bit of a matchup that we see more of here.
Definitely.
Yeah, Goblins looking like it's pretty good in this type of metagame where there's very little combo. We can go toe-to-toe against these Delver and control decks, no question. So, we get ready here for game number 3. These players are going to get prepared. We'll do the same, but first, a quick word from our friends over at Ultimate Guard. Game number 3 about to be underway here between Rob Nelson and Kevin Jones. It's Goblins, it's Grixis Control. It's round number 12 here from Baltimore at SCG Tour, hashtag SCGBALT. Made me think of BLT, and I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. Spoiler, we just got Shake Shack. I'm excited about it. With Noodles & Company no longer apparently an institution of Baltimore or anywhere.
Yeah.
Got to find some new places to try to wrangle up a sponsorship.
Boarded up or burned down.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Company, all they're doing is making pasta. They're going through a lot, and random mediocre soup. See, I think what was the downfall is they tried to expand their menu a little too much. Mm-hmm. Soups, salads, sandwiches, and pasta. But you just stick it. How about you just do one thing well? How about that? They had pasta on lock. Then they, I don't know, chicken noodle soup? Get out of here. Just doesn't make any sense to me. What are they doing?
I thought the soup was all right.
It can only be so good. It's chicken noodle soup, man.
Right, but the floor is pretty high.
The ceiling's pretty low.
And I live in the middle of that.
That's true.
That's where I live.
That's just true. I forgot. That's just true, man.
Just trying to get by.
I know. Rob is also just trying to get by, and it's not going well. Looks like he's going down to 5. Gonna be tough. Gonna be tough now. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened.
I mean, it's certainly a spot where Kevin Jones could easily just draw himself out by being too fiddly.
By just spinning the wheel.
Yeah.
For Kevin Jones, a 30-year-old from Kingstown, New York. 13 Open top 8s. He's built quite a resume here on the SCG Tour, has Kevin. Still waiting for that Envy top 8, though. He won the Eternal Weekend Legacy Championship a few years ago with Blue Red Delver. Taught himself how to play college tennis. He loves to read. And if you know anything about Kevin Jones, the daddy rides alone.
Loves driving to events.
By himself.
The further away, the better.
Yes. It's a bloodstained mire. This is a Goblin Lackey for Rob Nelson. Kevin is going to lightning bolt that.
See, we're on pace for him to draw himself out.
Of course we are.
Tanked for a beat, and then bolted
bolted that, yeah.
Bolted the lackey.
What's the rush?
Bolted the lackey against someone on 5 cards.
Yeah. I ask you, what is the rush? Oh, Kevin.
Love him.
When I get old and I'm telling people about my days of covering the SCG Tour,
You'll still be covering the SCG Tour.
that's okay. Well, thank you. Thank you.
But I understand what you're saying. You will be telling the younger generation.
I'll be telling people about Kevin Jones, and they will not be able to believe any aspect of him.
No.
So there was just a guy who just called himself the daddy, and it stuck? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. And he drove to events by himself? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 hours? Oh, way more.
Well, I think something about, Kevin that sort of resonates with a lot of the communities. I mean, there's like a lot of emotion and controversy and hurt feelings and all that, and often for good reasons. And Kevin is so just transparently loves playing Magic, loves that he gets to spend his time traveling around to events and doing this. And maybe things could be better in certain spots, could be different, but he loves what he does enough that it doesn't really face him very much.
Kevin is as real as they come, man.
Yeah, and he's just so happy to be here doing this.
Just shuffling,
getting himself a draw here.
Yep.
In a spot where he's like 98% to win the game.
He's having the time of his life.
He's just right now just looking at and imagining that polluted delta and just like, when do I want to sack this?
Mm-hmm.
And for what? Mull that over.
So many questions.
So many questions.
See if Rob's got a spell he wants to play.
Does he have it looks like a pile driver that he knows is just going to get K command if he casts it. So
it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling.
He's got a vial too.
That'll also die.
Yeah, I guess you just cast all of it.
That's why K command's a lot of fun to play against. Here we go.
Oh, it's a Mog War Marshal.
All right.
Excuse me.
Well, that's the other card in hand.
Right.
There's the vial and the pile driver. Kevin will play a Scalding Tarn, pass the turn back. Echo will be paid. Goblin Matron the draw. Hiya. Jones will fall down to 14. There's that vial. Pass the turn back. Kevin will draw again. All right, Ponder. Little Ponder party.
See, now the fetch land, you get to think about the permutations.
Oh, there we go.
Yes. Keep it coming.
Grind him down, Kev. Grind him down, buddy. There's a Scalding Tarn. Gonna give himself an Underground Sea. Nah, maybe not. Basic Island. Metagame breakdown here from Nick Miller. Go over that at the beginning of next round. Don't want my Shake Shack to get cold.
Bad news. Already is. Approaching 5 minutes.
Yes.
Towards the 5 minutes remaining in this draw.
Yep. No. No better time to ponder.
Yeah, that is the time. You got to pick your hand up. Okay, cool.
All right. Might be time to crack that fetch. Nope.
No.
Okay. Vial on 1 here for Rob.
Gotta see what Rob's turn's like first.
Rob is actually the one who could probably win here. I mean, I don't think it's impossible for Kevin to win, but it will be tough. Rob will attack. Mog War Marshal and the Goblin are coming in. Baleful Strix will trade with the Mog War Marshal. Goblin token made. A little bit of damage dealt there to Kevin. See what our follow-up is. Could be time for a Matron. It's his.
Do you like a matron for a ringleader here? Just try to chain up the cards.
I weirdly like matroning for matron.
Oh, the slow grind.
I weirdly like doing that right now.
Not that weird. I feel better about it if the vial was on 2 and you had this, with it 1 turn off.
Looks like it's going to be a Goblin War Chief. I feel like I still have a little bit of time to work with, but, we'll see. I also just have, an addiction for just, chaining 1/1s.
Yeah, of course. Against
just
Grixis Control?
Yeah, it's just complete nonsense.
They spend mana on and cards on 1/1s.
Yeah.
And I just do this for free.
When I played Humans at the GP, I would Imperial Recruiter for Phantasmal Image and just copy it and go get another one of those 2 pieces just in case my opponent did anything that I cared about, and it felt so good.
I think against these Grixis Control people, it might be time to dust off some cards like Kajeldor and Outpost. They would have no shot.
Just something that makes a 1/1.
One every turn.
Yeah.
If you just made a 1/1 every turn.
Imagine I begin each turn with a 1/1. Can you win?
And they don't have Wasteland, right? They can't touch lands?
Yeah, they don't have Wasteland. They have Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Kajeldor and Outpost, I think, care about Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Okay, you win. Here's a Brainstorm for Kevin.
I think it's time. I'm going to go back. Goblin Sec already has... You'd have to get a second plateau in there, I guess.
Yeah,
to
there, boy, look at that.
Splash the Outpost.
There you go.
For those of you who... Most of you.
Were born in the 2000s.
Who have not been playing Magic for 25 years.
Yeah.
This card was dope once upon a time.
It was. This one game's all by itself.
And you were allowed to play Strip Mine, and this card was still dope.
Yes.
Anyhow, Grixis Control, 0%er against this card. Cast all the hymns and fatal pushes you want.
Yep.
There's no chance. None.
Just an endless stream of morons coming out of this land.
Is it a reserve list card? It's time. Is it on?
Or is it time for the buyout?
Yeah, time for
Here we go. Here we go. I love it.
Toxic Deluge, whatever. Just make another one.
Where did they all go?
Yeah. What does that matter?
This and more financial tips later in the broadcast.
Yeah. Under 2 minutes as we approach a draw here.
Yep. You've been calling for the draw the entire time. I'm impressed.
Came into this match with 10 minutes left. Or just game 3 here.
I guess there was no other outcome that was possible then.
Yeah. Kevin with a Jason to Brainstorm as his leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, quite potent.
All right, pile driver down. Rob's going to play a War Chief. Rob's going to violin a Mog War Marshal. Rob's going to attack with just the small goblins, keep the War Chief around, which I approve of.
Yeah, looks good to me.
I approve of that. All right, back over to Kev. Kev going to brainstorm. Kev might run out of time here. Just going to put that out there. Kev might run out of time.
As predictable as it is predictable.
It's not your first day on the job? Is that what you're saying? No?
That is time.
That is time in the round. That is now time in the round. Yes. We are in turns. Kevin is turn 0. Means you'll get turns 0, 2, and 4. And try to hang on. What better time to ponder than now that you're in turns?
Well, no, now it's free.
Yes, it is.
Now it's like who even.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it.
So, yeah, he gets this turn plus 2 and 4.
Yes. To deal 20 points of damage. Or get his Jace to 7 loyalty counters. Mystery card coming here for Jones. Hymnotorak. No, I don't think so. Goblin's Vial up to 3. Be a good time for Goblin Matron, Rob.
Big draw.
Echo on the stack. I would pay it.
Yeah, I like keeping it.
Drew a Mountain. Not quite what the doctor ordered. Same 2 Knuckleheads. Look like they're going to come in. There we go.
I think I would have preferred for Nelson to pay for the Echo here with 2 Mountains. I think the cost of not being able to draw a Lackey if you happen to draw one is a lot lower than your inability to port should you have drawn any land.
There's a blue elemental blast taking care of a red creature and Goblin War Chief as Jones will draw a card. Turn 2. Oh, now it's here. Kevin will brainstorm.
And not having that port here is a big deal because, for example, Jones can now cast a Fatal Push should he find one, whereas before that would have been impossible.
Play a land there, will Kevin? He'll play Gurmag Angler. And unfortunately for him, it looks like he's just going to come up a little bit short. As he'll delve away 6 cards for the big 5/5.
Yeah, I mean, this is a commanding position, but,
got to finish the game.
Yep.
And this is definitely a game Rob can still win, by the way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks really bad, but if he rips off a Ringleader.
Yeah, put that Vial on 40, peels a Ringleader. This is absolutely a game.
Kevin's on 5.
Yeah. Drew a Mountain. Yeah, this is very, very much a winnable game here for Rob Nelson.
I would probably just say go here.
Yeah. I wouldn't get too fancy. Brainstorm time. What's wrong, partner?
Nothing.
Kevin just wants to get his brainstorm on, babe. That's all. This is Shaheen-esque without the speed. That's what it is.
And as you mentioned before, it's not even, even if you're the type of person to say, well, I mean, I obviously I lose this game with 1 or 2 more turns. That's not where we're at right now.
No. Rob can definitely win this game. I think if I'm Rob in his position, I am probably leaving my Vial on 4.
Yeah, Ringleader's the biggest spike.
I believe so. Because if he were to find a Siege Gang commander, it does not win the game immediately. He's got to mill 2 cards there from the Liana and then get back to Snapcaster Mage, because that's how the resolution of that effect works. But Ringleader is probably the biggest spike, as you mentioned, as opposed to spiking a Siege Gang commander. I like Rob tapping a land here on the end step, actually. Yeah. Kevin, loving it. Bolt that. Make a goblin. All right. Looks like we're going to put it up to 5 with the hope of peeling a Siege Gang. Even though Kevin is only at 5. The draw is another mountain for Rob. 3 straight mountains. Well, we can lock in the draw, folks, because that's turn 5 extra turns. There's your attack. And we'll call this one a draw. Both players likely going to wind up at 8-2-2. And I think they'll just shake hands. So we'll cut back to the booth here. Maybe they'll have the conversation. But back to the booth we do go.